Chase, there's a box of parts here. Distributor caps, cam belt, leads, rotors, and the plastic covers, some spark plugs.
This is not an airbox.
This is not an airbox.
It's going to be. Look, see? It's not an airbox.
Not an airbox. And
hey, look, another one is it. How unoriginal.
right. So this one, it goes in a VW Kombi.
Cool.
Can you make it fit the VW Kombi, please? Prep it for the VW Kombi. So it's a really early Crown engine with the very, very super performance orientated exhaust manifolds. Okay, super exhaust manifold, super flow. Yeah, you can enhance it, please.
Enhance the flow?
Enhance the flow of the exhaust manifolds, please. With the flanged ones, the big ones.
When your headers.
Yes. This one's got the dipstick through the sump.
Are they going to fit the...
The VW?
Yeah.
Tim's pretty much going to make it fit regardless.
Oh, right.
Yes. If they don't fit, he will cut more metal.
Cut more VW away.
Yeah. Remove.
Remove more VW.
Correct.
This fit.
Yes.
It's staying auto, is it?
Staying auto. So this is the factory auto. What we're going to do there is we're going to convert it to a UZS131 wiring loom that I'm going to make. So basically wiring off it, take it off, put it in a box nicely. Normal intake off, check starter, drop the box off, and we're going to change in here. This one here's got 32 teeth. We're going to take it to a 4 tooth and put a normal UZS20 sensor in the back there. That one we're probably going to leave that drive in there because there's a gear drive. So if he wants to run a cable speedo or anything else or a transducer or anything, he can on that one. So we're going to take the tail shaft off that. I'm going to make the loom. So where it's sitting in the VW, the ECU is going to sit over here, like an American one. That's why it's getting a custom loom on this one.
You know we're in New Zealand, mate.
Yeah, but you know it's going into a VW. Yeah, good. We've got that sorted. I think we're leaving the aircon pump on it. Do the normal prep on it. Cam belt. I want to see that oil pump seal. It's been sitting. Now I met Tim. I worked with Tim. I worked with Tim in 2000 and before I bought the cartoon company, I worked with Tim. So I started this in 2000. Well, I bought it in 2003. So beginning of 2003 and the end of 2002. And he had this already. That's how long this engine's been sitting.
You're at Nationwide, weren't you?
I was at Nationwide. So that's how long this engine's been sitting. That's nearly 20 years. So every piece of rubber on this engine is getting changed. Okay, if it's rubber, so right down to oil pump seals. It'll be a sweeter because it's done no case. It came out 20 years ago. It's a 1990 Crown. So it was a 10-year-old. That's 10, say. 1990, 2000, 89. It was a 10-year-old engine. So
I tell you, it was at least so.
They'll say 89. We'll see what it looks like when we get in there. See how many oil changes it actually has had.
None in the last 20 years.
None in the last 20 years. What do the leads say on it? 1990.
No.
So you'll also notice this is the one that's got the sump on an angle. Notice the engine sitting on an angle?
Yes, I do.
Because the sump's on an angle. Because they're mounted with an offset in the car for the steering rack. Or the steering box. And then the transmission sits flat like normal because the bell housing's got an offset on it. That's why it's a 2U, and it's got a 5-degree offset on the belt housing to straighten everything back up.
No, the degrees have 6 degrees of separation.
Good. Right. Do your thing. Having fun? You want some useless information?
Not really.
See these ones? These are not torque converter bolts. They're out of the bottom cover to get to the torque converter. See these ones? These are torque converter bolts.
No, they just removed them all.
Do you notice though how one of them is different? See that one there? See that one's got a taper on it? Because that one locates the torque converter. It's actually got a little dowel where it dowels into the torque converter to locate it, and the rest of them just bolted up tight. Calvin's useless information for the day. Jason don't care.
Doesn't really care.
You just want to, but if you go put them in and they're wrong, then it could cause issues. This is a lovely power steer pump. That dirt's been there for the last 20 years. That's awesome. Yeah, I really think it does need a rebuild, that power steer pump.
That's
Yeah. And then it's sat for 20 years. That's cool.
It feels crispy.
Pristine. I'm going to be really interested to see how this one looks inside. See this? This is not a bloody kickdown cable.
This,
Not a kickdown cable. Line pressure. That's quite unique, isn't it? And I love the cracking on the belt, actually. We'll get that belt, I'll try and get a bit of close up, but the belt is all cracked to pieces. Crack it to pieces.
should we call Novus?
Yeah. Is that bolt you dropped? I was expecting there to be, there's some mouse poo in there. Poppy was going nuts at this the other day.
Why?
And I reckon there was probably a mouse hiding in the valley. That mouse that's been hanging out in our workshop. What do you reckon of that starter motor? You reckon we could use that starter motor? Possibly, possibly not. I want to see when to get the tablet covers off. And you've got to love these performance exhausts, don't you?
It's a fucking pushy. It's got oil in it.
Yeah, I think Tim actually put some new oil in it, pumped up oil pressure in.
Yeah.
That's coming out. Because you're going all the way down to those seals. We'll see how those, all these rubber bits come up.
Some of them need to be bad actually. Like that's actually not completely solid. It's not soft, but it's not.
Yep.
It's not going tuk tuk tuk. That's kind of still pliable.
Somewhat. Yep. This is. So we reckon this has come out of a crashed car. There was glass. There's glass in the valley. Oh, how do you like the alternator wiring, Jace? The insulation's actually physically fallen off it. And the suppressor, the insulation's actually physically fallen off. Yeah, power steer pump, totally stuffed. Oh, check out the idle up valve. It's got a metal one instead of the little plastic ones. Pity one of the hoses pipes has fallen out of it, but look at that. Jace has been busy.
You shouldn't leave me alone with a rattle gun and a one he's had.
No.
I'll pull it apart.
Correct. You decided to spread everything out of it, and funny smell. You said there was crusty stuff?
Oh, it's in that water bridge. It's still in the heads as well. The motor's now upside down. And it had tea in it.
Hi.
Good morning. Jace? Any advice on...
Of course you just run straight through the...
Any advice on this? Shall we prep the engine? No, we'll just put it in, shall we?
Well, I would put that
Just
in.
put that in. Yeah. Oh, there's funny stuff in my cooling system. I just noticed you've the plug decided to stay put.
Yeah.
So we've got big rods because it's an early 131 engine.
They look little.
No, they go much smaller than that. And we've got a dipstick through the cylinder head, running through one of the galleries, through the head there. No, Poppy, what are you doing?
You gotta finish it.
She's inspecting it. Just checking. Is it all good? Does it pass? Okay, yep, it passes. This O-ring looks incredibly flat. Look at that. It's amazing that they seal, eh?
Probably wouldn't see it if you tried it with the cover back.
Oh, that's well stuck. What were the tablet covers like?
On the floor of it.
Yeah, they're pretty hard. So that's the good side. What's the PCV valve side like? Oh, it hasn't had as many oil changes as we'd like, eh?
You can see it hasn't had many oil changes.
Yeah, so
Oh, it's not too soupy in the sun.
these idlers are awesome, eh?
Ah, they're a little bit noisy.
Oh, awesome. Oh well. There's that nut that the washer that people miss. Alright. I want to see the other side of it. Let's flip it over. Oh, you can take a few bits off. Tim's actually already put, these aren't the proper mounts. They're sort of Celsius ones, LS400 ones. So they're not crown mounts.
You put them in.
They're just not crown mounts. Crown mounts look very different. Just in case, well, what people go is they see something in my videos and then they go, oh, it had this on it, or these were the engine mounts, or this was this particular part. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, mate.
I'm thinking I might just wheel it outside and water blast it.
I think we probably should pull those frost plugs out of this one.
Front's fine. I think it's...
It actually goes right down in those oil galleries, eh? Oh, that water gallery, sorry. It goes right in there. Right in there.
Wheel it out the back and just hit it with
Yeah, mate. Hit it with a water blaster.
Like as it is.
Yep. Oh, spark plug's out too. Oh, one of the knock sensors broke.
Yeah.
Lucky we've got spares.
Had to remove the starter motor with a hammer.
Right. I don't think we'll use that starter motor again, eh?
Oh, I tapped it gently. Yeah, in the bin.
Awesome.
That's a good lump of dirt.
It's going to be a sweetheart though. It'll tidy up good. I really need to wash my finger, eh?
Yeah, you should just you're sticking in holes. You shouldn't stick on them.
So these 131 Crown engines are a proper mid-sump. Very different to the rear. Not as wide. They don't protrude out past the block very much. And of course they do have that angly thing going on. Might be hard to see, but that is sitting on quite an angle. Oil pump is absolutely dry. This is because of the cam belt and stuff on this one, I'd normally fire them up before we strip them down, check if they're actually any good, but I just didn't think it was a good idea in this case.
No.
I think I made the right decision, eh? Not that it touches valves, they're non-interference this model, but it'd just be too much stuffing around. Looks good. We're not actually going to do a really big, detailed engine prep video on this one. We've done plenty of that. We're just going to do the main key points of it, being that it's a little bit different. We will be changing this to Gen 2 management. So Jason's going to swap all the appropriate bits to it. The right injectors. We'll swap airflow meter, ECU. It's getting its own custom loom. It's getting nice headers. And just a nice tidy up, so it's going to be reliable. Actually, crown headers. Let's look at this. This is the proper crown log headers right here. They look like that. Yep. Toyota went full spec performance on those ones. These slightly different in the design. You can see when they make them, hey, there was a little bit of difference in the way they're made on different ones.
That one there.
Yep.
This one here. You're never going to get it off.
No, you can't, because they actually crushed this to fit the steering box. There was a steering box issue. The cooling system is actually pretty good. It's just that it had that coolant must have been sitting in that back corner for some reason.
Well, there was only water in there. Like it was only to the.
Yeah. So why did we get a whole lot of build up in that back corner?
Don't know.
Don't know either. Don't care as long as we wash it out.
Well, when I say water, I mean tea. It looks like tea.
Yeah, whatever it was. Once upon a time, it was antifreeze. Jace is removing the frost plugs, the watery ones. Just, yep, there you go. Just leave it against the head. Yep, perfect.
Ugh. Just stick your finger in the hole. Don't recommend it.
You know I'm going to, eh?
You can wait till I'm away from it.
So with frost plugs, the bottom ones are into water, the top ones are into oil. And we've got, because the heads are unidirectional, the same exists at the front. Front ones. I just said the front ones. Were you not listening to me?
I wasn't listening to you. When do I ever listen to you?
I've got to stop sticking my finger in holes that I shouldn't stick my finger in sticky holes. And then to replace them, you just bag new ones in. 30mm. Oh. Did you order frost plugs?
That's your job.
I ordered frost plugs, but they're having them.
Well, lucky this motor's not going back together in a hurry, eh?
Yeah. Are you having a blasting good time? After you, you're gonna. Jace has had this outside, and he's water blasted it and cleaned it. Found lots of gunge. Then he blew it all off with the air duster and CRC'd it. Or WD-40 or whatever you want to call it. Inox. We're playing with the headers, making them fit. Put the oil filter housing on, all good. And then realised that the dipstick for a front sump doesn't fit with the crown oil filter. Oh, and we've got a different sump on it. You'll see we've got a flat sump. So we've got to correct the transmission as well.
You got a water bridge? Because I don't like this one.
I'm low on the May.
Okay.
Oh, I linish it. On the linisher.
Okay.
You got that dipstick out alright? Would that dipstick actually work?
Nah, it comes...
Because it fouls in there.
It comes in here. I think it comes...
Oh, yep.
Comes down there.
Yep.
Oh, no, it fell on the tray.
Oh, yep. It doesn't got a hole in the tray. Yep. So we'll put it...
I'll take it out.
We'll have to find a different housing. I'll just use a front sump one that'll put it here. You having trouble finding the hole? There it is.
We get with a hole, I was going to drill a hole through it. So.
Yeah. No, we won't do that. I've got the frost plug for the oil level sensor blanker. So we can glue that in there too. Tappet covers, of course, been changed. Tappet cover gaskets. That's going to need a bit of a clean up. Awesome. I kept my head on the hoist. Your special lifty off the to do the remain seal.
Put it down if you want. I'm done with it. Cool.
There's a motor that's got to call it an engine. It's almost ready. Oh, Jason denoised that one. And he's denoising that one. And there's new thermostat housing. See what else are the bits? There's a new alternator. There's a new water pump. All the camber stuff's new. The starter motor in there's new. We've got to do that sensor yet. The cold start injector is gone. Tappet cover gaskets are new. Gaskets there are new. Gaskets there are new. The injectors are new. The headers are new. Frost plugs are new. All the rubber bits, they're all new. There's now a new... Holy jeez.
It's 1.5 meters.
That's 1.5 meters?
So then you'll table.
Well, that's 1.5 meters then. That's done. There's a new wiring loom going to the starter motor and the knock sensors and a second-hand knock sensor. Well, I didn't see him do it, but I'm pretty sure he would have done it because I've got a box of second-hand knock sensors over there. Yeah, that is just sitting there. And it is upside down. I don't know how it got upside down. I didn't put it upside down. We'll have to get that out. I'm not sure how. What else? What else are we doing here? Oh, caps are new, rotors are new. Oh, there's lots of new. Have you done the bearings on the stepper yet?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I will never let you know.
Oh, I did one the other day and it fell apart. This has got to be cut off. So we're getting there. Almost ready to say that it's done and prepped.
What's going to be cut off?
The barb on here. The ferrule.
The ferrule, but yeah.
And I've got to find an oil filter housing for you. And oh, I know what else. This is what I was going to talk about. Look, the hole is gone. The hole is gone. He got it out of this. I had a spare cylinder head, so we didn't have to machine anything. We just rated one. And Jace got it, and he smacked it out of that head. And what happened?
Oh, it ended up out over there. It fired out over across almost into the paddock.
Right. Probably don't need to hit it that hard.
I didn't actually hit that hard. This is the way it pinged and just fired out.
I told you I wanted to get footage of that, eh? But I wasn't here.
Oh, I'll go have this is a 2.5 hour lunch.
I know, I did. I had other stuff I had to do. Right, so that's done. And now it's now blanked off, which is just like the other side, in fact. Which is just like this one. See, look, there's a factory. Looks just the same. Funny enough, because the cylinder heads are the same left and right. I've told you about that before. Right, we're looking good. You've got new spark plug leads to go too, but of course he doesn't want to put the spark plug leads on until that sensor's done, because that would be a pain.
You've got to wire it.
And we've got to wire it.